Hi, good guys. So back again, another day, another dollar, another live stream. We're gonna cover some of this stuff that's still going. They're gonna go away about the diddler, P Diddy. So there's some there. There was an interesting resurfaced interview clip where Taylor Swift had called Diddy a dream prom date. And there's some other stuff that just came out recently. It's hard to keep up all this stuff, but there's some new allegations, very disturbing. Nothing that should surprise anybody now with all the other allegations that come out before. But there are some new, fresh, a new lawsuit, I believe, had been filed. It was Variety.com had reported on this. They are known as a fairly reliable publication. They wouldn't just be posting fake news. So I'm going to cover some of that stuff. So we've got a few people in. Lenny, you left them. So we're good, Lenny. I don't know if you're still there, mate, but so we'll see how we are tonight with numbers. Hopefully get good. Cara. Brilliant. Cara. So we've got two of the regulars already. That's awesome. Good evening. Good to see you guys in. Oh, here we go. Everybody now. Now I'm doing good, thanks. I'm doing good, Cara. Can't complain. Good to get the regulars on. Joe, good to see you. Just need to get Maureen on now, right? I did message her earlier. Then she wasn't feeling the best. But she's on the mend though. She's on the mend. Pen Bun hasn't been on for a while. Yeah, I mean, I think she has her health issues. Doesn't she have her difficulties raising her kid? Who has some challenges like learning difficulties. I haven't been checking for her. I actually watched the first time in ages. I watched a video from ex-army Paz. He was saying something about Lawrence Fox has portrayed Tommy Robinson. He's with what's happening to him, and he didn't go to this march for Tommy at the weekend, and that's no surprise that these guys have no loyalty towards one another. Because I even left a comment on the Paz video. I said Dan Wooten portrayed Lawrence Fox. Lawrence Fox portrayed Tommy Robinson. The pattern will continue. They have no loyalty towards one another, you know. I mean, Paz will do what he does, but I think Paz seems to believe a lot of what he says. You know, he seems to be a very pro Tommy guy, which I part ways with him on that. But maybe that's a story for another day. But who knows? Maybe Paz will check this out and leave a message. You know, you never know. Yeah, he is banged up. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, the house and party bloke, Lenny. Yeah, yeah. Oh god, yeah, he was something, right? And then I remember that other time I came in because like a bald guy, right? And then he just he came on and he had a wig, and it was like it wasn't even like a joke. It was just like he was passing that off as his it was his hair. Weird shit, right? Weird shit. You wouldn't. I wouldn't even want to engage with people like that, Julio Cass. It's not worth your time. The priest with the afro. Bruce Willis is the Liverpool manager. Well, they're doing okay, to be fair, Lenny. I was watching the game yesterday, and God, I found it a little bit boring. I stopped watching after the first half, the Liverpool Arsenal game. I mean, it's interesting what's happening now with Man U and Ten Hag. I mean, I know there was a questionable decision that for them to getting the late goal, West Ham to beat Man U, but I think he was going to probably get the sack anyway, right? He was gone. They probably should have sacked him before. Um, Van Nistelrooy, will you get a tune out of the guys? Maybe a little bit. Maybe they'll improve somewhat, but it's just dire. I mean, I was a fan when I was a kid. I don't really call myself a Man U fan anymore, but there was good memories there. Watched Man U the 98 to 99 season, winning the treble. Good times, but nah, it's dire though. It's dire with Man U, isn't it? Joe Rogan getting into this stuff. Diddy masterminded the whole thing like a gangster, blackmail operation for decades. Well, you don't say, Joe. We all know that now, do we? Yeah. That theory by Brian Harvey is an interesting theory, Lenny. Where I part ways with him though is that he tried to say that Liam Payne wasn't on drugs and they put the drugs like in his system. I don't know about that, and that he had been off drugs, and that they make it look like it was drug induced death. I don't know about that. I mean, there was footage of him meeting fans the night before what happened, and he looked like out of it, like totally like spaced out. I think he definitely there was a drug problem there, but it could be. I mean, there's some interesting things there that there's this whole thing when you get into like numerology and stuff and how the people, the elite, the controllers work and like these theories. And 33 is like the master number, right? And a couple of interesting things with that whole thing with Liam Payne. Um, yes, he had 33 million followers on Twitter X. The last time that he had posted on his Instagram before the death was 33 weeks. He hadn't posted in 33 weeks. And that was like a promotion thing for the song or whatever it was, Teardrops. And there's like a video clip of him, and it's like they've got like the almost like kind of like the one eye thing, but what it is, it's like the dark, half light. That's like that Masonic duality thing. So there's definitely some questions there. I find, there's it could have been an industry sacrifice. You never know. You just never know. I don't know. Could the whole thing have been faked? Who knows? I wouldn't put it past these fuckers, to do that. Still, was that the exact Joey Cass? He took a 300 grand advance. He had money though. He had a lot of money. Like not like it's not like he needed the advance though, right? From the money he made. Cross-Asian. Interesting, yeah. Oh, yeah, Joe Cass, but the thing is with the artists, they totally screw the artist over, do they? I mean, like, you know, very few artists actually make money, good money, very few, you have to be like up there, with, you know, I mean, there's the top artists like the cat people, like, but then he's got all his issues and, you know, so he'll have all these lawsuits and people he owes money to. You got Bruno Mars, who's made a lot of money, but then apparently he's in big debts from gambling. So it never goes just plain sailing for even like the top artists. You know what I mean? But like the artists that have the whole issue about the advance and then they've got to recoup it, and that's why you don't do that. You need smart, savvy, get a good lawyer. Don't do the whole get the you're probably you're better doing it like you get a percentage of the sales or whatever and do it that way. I think it was Ali Campbell from UB40 was talking about that they never did that. He never did that anyway. He never took an advance. It was like percentage of the sales, and yeah. If I was that famous, I'd just live on 40 grand a year. Well, you never know. Some of these people could be roughly on about 40 grand a year, Julia Cass. I mean, Suge Knight made a comment about a lot of artists and saying the artists just don't care. They don't actually care about being rich. They just want to like do their thing on stage, pay their bills, and that's that. And I suppose a lot of the people who are just like performers and musicians and they don't get into the business side of it, that sometimes is all what it's about, to just perform. It maybe just goes back to that's all they ever wanted to do, going back to like their childhood. They don't sign up for all the political shit, all the business stuff, and yeah. Mm. Year of the Cat. I'm not that familiar with that one, Julia Cass. But I imagine he has to keep performing because he has to, right? I suppose that's what they say a lot about these top artists. Like, why do they still perform in their 80s? You know what I mean? But the thing about that though is performing. It's not a regular 9 to 5 job. For most people, they're in like an office 9 to 5 job. Damn straight that once they're 65 to 67, they want to retire. But you still get a lot of that joy and fulfillment. You get the buzz from performing. You might carry on until your 70s. Hell, you might even carry on until your 80s. It's like, yeah, people might sometimes think, well, people might be getting to that stage now where they think, oh shit, Christ, Paul McCartney, Rolling Stones are still gigs. It's like, what the hell's up with that? You know what I mean? But yeah, so the diddler, right? This stuff isn't going away with Diddy, isn't it? This stuff isn't going away any time soon. It really isn't, right? And I'm just getting this up in a second just so I can. Holy shit, he's 90 years old, Frankie Valli, right? Yeah, he did that song Bye Bye Baby, right? That the Bay City Rollers popularized. Mum actually went to school with one of them. Right. Grease is the word, yeah. There was something last week here about, some Grease musical was going on in Aberdeen. Yeah, about Les McKeown, right. Yeah. Well, she was at school with the drummer, Woody. Yeah, the manager was the real sketchy guy, wasn't he? Yeah. Yeah, so we're about 50 minutes in and I haven't really talked on this whole Diddy thing, right? So let's get into it, right? Cara, are you still there? Maybe she's in the background, maybe stuff going on with the kids, but let's get into the stuff then. So Taylor Swift once said that Sean Diddy Combs would always be one of her dream prom dates. She said, quote, always been very nice to me. I'm sure that if he was nice, it was always, under false pretenses looking for someone else to get. And, whether it was dirt or, he actually wanted to hook up with her, who knows? Maybe, I don't know. Taylor Swift was just never Diddy's type. Diddy, I don't know if Diddy was known for dating white women, was he? Well, I suppose there was Jennifer Lopez, but then she's Latino, right? But Caucasian women, I don't know. I don't know that maybe they weren't Diddy's type. You know what I mean? He was with Kim Porter on and off over these black women. He was with Cassie. I believe what she's like half Asian, half black, right? But yes, but the whole thing was she's been pictured with Taylor Swift many times. He had been pictured with Taylor Swift a few times. I think there was a photo a few years back, not that long ago, when he was doing that whole love persona, um, with the red, winning the red, which says to do with love, but I think that that's probably more that's that inversion, and it's really that red, the color, that's known with the Satan, the devil. God, this guy's just so dark. I mean, there's always stuff out there about Diddy that he was a bit of a sketchy character, maybe his questionable lifestyle. But this stuff is just so disturbing. And yeah, you could say that maybe people are just jumping on the bandwagon looking to get a payday, but I don't know. I mean, there's so many of these allegations though, and it was like 3,000 people called a hotline, and then part of that lawsuit, it got vetted down to 120 people. But even if there's 120 people on that lawsuit, it's like 120 cases. But then you think, well, what about the 2,880 cases? They still could have had a lot of credibility there. You know what I mean? Almost all of them could have had credibility, but no, mate, it's good to see you, Cara. Well, yeah, and JLo, I mean, she had the gun, right? I mean, she was quite fortunate to, both her and Diddy were both fortunate to not do any jail time, and Shine took the can, right? Yeah, but they're all just kind of keeping stum, right? All these celebrities, and they want to, their way of hiding is to go and endorse Kamala Harris, right? It's God, it's like we really do live in a simulation, right? We really do. Um, well, he was probably bisexual, hypersexual, Lanny. I don't even know. It was just a simple case. He was flat out gay. I don't know about that, but who knows? But yeah, so the stuff. Okay, so let's get into this stuff then. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift said Sean Diddy Combs would be one of her dream prom dates, and this was back in 2011. The disgraced rapper was arrested for trafficking. Um, she was on this Rachel Ray show, and she was playing this silly celebrity quiz game. And this is back when she was only 21. The pop star answered a series of rapid fire questions, holding up photos of various music superstars, including Combs, Jennifer Lopez, and Katy. I think there was a couple other people in that were Justin Timberlake and Sheryl Crow. And with this, she was asked who she would have taken to prom. She responded it would be a group and it would be a really fun group. Interestingly, the Rachel Ray said, "Boy, you're going on a freaky prom date." You know, considering what we now know about what that word associated with Diddy's parties were known as freak offs. So using that word freaky. Uh, Seconds later, she held up photos of Combs, Perry, Lopez, Justin Timberlake, and Sheryl Crow. Why that spectacular array of people, right? And so she had other options, right? And she's got like, I think Cher's there, Bono's there, Madonna's there, Meryl Streep's there, but she chose Diddy though. Out of that lot, you know, it's like what the fuck. Um, but then she said because of all these different reasons, so she had a wide variety of people to choose from, but she decided to choose Diddy though. She said Katie would be just so much fun. She's like crazy fun, like spontaneous. Diddy's really always been very nice to me. He would fun. He would be fun to be in the prom group. He's a gentleman, isn't he? He's a lovely gentleman. Ray chimed in. Some people said that she was very quick to change the topic after she said so he's a lovely gentleman, right? Taylor Swift's remarks made headlines after the moment was shared in a since deleted TikTok video. So I wonder what's happened. Is that if the video has now been removed from TikTok, has there been a harsh there must have been some copyright thing that forced them to take it down, but then at the same time, Taylor's team wouldn't be too pleased when that video is going about TikTok, you know, getting hundreds of thousands, even in the millions of views. But yeah, of all the people, she could have even picked Bono, right? She could have even picked Lady Gaga. And funny enough, Lady Gaga's like, it's like on like the list of heads, it's like she's like got the doing that one eye thing. And some other weird names I can't quite make out. One of the guys looks like, I think it was the guy that was with Pamela Anderson, the long hair. But yeah, she chose Diddy. Now, not saying that she was around Diddy and she was at these parties and she was caught up into all these things, nefarious things that Diddy and his crowd of people were doing. No. But I imagine though that, you know, past the, you know, photos they take, unlike the photo you see in this video of them smiling and all that, she must have probably had an idea what Diddy was like. People in her team, I imagine, maybe have warned her against warned her about Diddy. But then, you know, choosing Diddy and the list of celebrities that she had, you could say that like specifically choosing Diddy would be a Taylor Swift move because, you know, if Taylor Swift had heard things about Diddy, but then Taylor Swift you know, intelligent a woman, good awareness, you know, would have that understanding of, you know, you don't want to do something where it feels like you've ignored, you've snubbed, you've slighted Diddy, because that might, you know, backfire down the line. You know, he's one of those people in the industry. You want to be on his nice side. You don't want to cross. So even though this came off like some, you know, just silly ass game for a talk show, but these supposedly silly ass games are planned out in advance. It's maybe been some slight, there's been a bit of a rehearsal for it. So her picking Diddy might seem like nothing. That the Swifties would come on here and be like, "Oh, she had no clue what he was like back then," and all that good stuff. But I think Taylor Swift must have probably had an idea. I'd heard things. She'd been in the industry for what, you know, a good 3-4 years at that point. So she heard some things. And Diddy was just probably, it was well known as one of the people that you'd rather have as a friend than an enemy, so to speak, you know? You know what I mean? So it's like, but yeah, there's always patterns there with these type of celebrities. You know, I said it before. It's like, you know, Jay-Z being friends with Diddy and almost seeing him equal, but you know, But he's kind of maybe mistreated other people in the music industry, stabbed people in the back. But he was always stuck up. He's stuck by Diddy though. He's always been good friends with Diddy, and you don't hear anything from Jay-Z. No one's disavowed Diddy. No one's publicly condemned Diddy. Not flat out. Not these top celebrities anyway, right? Yeah. Eminem and Obama canvassing. Yeah, that's something, Lenny. I was going to get into that thing about Eminem and Obama because I think Eminem, like Eminem's a smart guy. Eminem's a pretty clued up guy. Eminem, okay, if you hate Trump, you hate Trump. Like whatever, right? There's a lot of things you could dislike about Trump. I think if you ask me, Eminem made it a point that he wasn't going to kind of be seen as endorsing Kamala Harris without Obama there. I think he realizes how stupid and how much of a fool that Kamala Harris is. I think in his mind, it was like, I'm only going to do it with that guy, Obama, because he saw him as kind of cool and kind of slick. But he's like, nah, this woman's an idiot. I don't want to be seen on stage where it's just me and her. Like I'm co-signing her. I think he made it a point that he had to do it with Obama there. And yeah, but there's so many of these celebrities. I mean, the difference between the people who endorse Kamala Harris, the difference between people who endorse Donald Trump. I don't know what's been going on about people who are like payments and stuff like that. Apparently, something about Lizzo got paid 2 point something million to endorse Kamala Harris. So people could be getting paid to endorse Trump. Celebrities, I wouldn't put it past. That could, no doubt, it wouldn't surprise me if that was happening. But I think a lot of these celebrities would happily endorse Trump for free, though. They wouldn't care about a payment, a monetary, payment. But America's getting dumber. P. Diddy is done. He won't be able to draw a dime. I'd imagine he attempted to move his money and assets offshore. He has to do 1020 in Rikers Island. I mean, with all the lawsuits that are coming to him left, right, and center, I mean, he could be millions in debt. He could be millions upon millions in debt, man. Just Jay. It's just going to keep going on and on. They'll pile up and up, and Dana White convinced Joe Rogan to let Trump on. All right, was it Dana White who was behind that, Lenny? All right, I watched a little bit of it, but it was just kind of like nothing too interesting. It was just kind of like basic Trump talk, I'm sure some people would probably say that Joe Rogan held back and that Joe Rogan wasn't afraid to ask. He was a bit maybe afraid to ask difficult questions. That's the vibe that I'm probably getting. That it was very much probably Trump talked for the most part. That's how it felt to me. It felt like Joe was struggling to get a word in. It was just Trump. Trump could have just carried on talking and kind of wouldn't have stopped, I think America's screwed either way, but I think, I still feel probably Trump is the lesser of the two evils. Let's hope he can back up some of his claims, if he could play a part in ending the conflict with Russia and Ukraine, that would be a start, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see on that, right? Like billionaire, you could be a lot of problems. It could be blackmail. It could, attempted robberies. Your problems just don't go away just because you become a billionaire, though. Everyone's got problems. If anything, when you're richer, your problems they're magnified. But more money, more problems, which ironically was a song that Diddy was on with Notorious B.I.G. People, Hugh Edwards is a name I noticed that's trending on Twitter. I think what it is because a lot of people are like, oh, Tommy Robinson supposedly getting 18 months in prison. People are like, oh, but then yeah, Hugh Edwards sits at home collecting his pension despite being in possession of vile. You what? Welcome to Britain. Somebody's saying here about Lawrence Fox though. You bottled it big. You bottled it big time. Stephen Laxley, Lennon left you in charge, and you got scared and filled your pants. Cowardly, a wingman to nobody. There are no Hugh Edwards fans anywhere. It's your smoke screen. Everybody sees you. Yeah. You can't stand those fuckers. You've probably seen some of them, Julia Cass, like Calvin Robinson, that Sargon of Akkad, with Carl Benjamin. Like they've all kind of like a little kind of group with them, and they've been involved in these protests. I don't know. It could be just a fake. I don't know. I don't believe this whole thing. He could be just. I don't know. I don't know. Like could be on some Robinson. They could have just put him on some fake. A U identity. I don't know how these things work. Like a witness protection programs. Then I don't know. With that though, 18 months, you're going to suspect that if, he's sentenced for 18 months, that what he's going to do, maybe probably 7 to 9 months in jail and then get out early. You think, right? But yeah, people are making out like Jimmy Savile he stopped doing what he was doing in the 1970s, right? And he didn't carry on, and it didn't. It wasn't as bad. It was kind of like just vanilla acts afterwards, so to speak, But it was probably worse. Considering all the stuff that he was into with the hospitals, the dead bodies. This is proper disturbing shit, man. Proper messed up. Well, there was a lot of Hugh Edwards apologists, wasn't there, Cara, last year? Yeah, I can't stand the apologists to people like that. Just like complete utter cowards, right? No backbone. Yeah, I know, Cara. I think I had said this before, Cara. Like somebody that I knew personally, it was like I remember someone like making this observation about how like he had two really good like close friends, and he was like, and a friend of mine said about this, and it's like he could hypothetically kill someone, and his two friends would be up on the dock lying for him. That is what some people would do. They would go that far. But the thing with Jimmy Savile, though, I mean, one thing I would say is that there's going to be a huge place in hell, obviously, I think, reserved for Jimmy Savile. That's, shame there was no justice on the planet here, but I think there'll be a good spot in reserve for Jimmy Savile. Exclusive spot. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Totally. Totally. But there's this stuff with Diddy, though. There's even more there's even, I mean, more and more. And I think with some of these publications, it's just hard to keep up with all these allegations that come out. Like, I noticed like Sean Atwood, I don't check his channel all the time, but a lot of the times I think he like starts, doing videos on things that came out like 2, 3 days, 4 days prior. But it is hard to keep up with a lot of this stuff, though. It really is. But this stuff here about the variety.com reported Sean Diddy Combs accused of drugging an R word a 10-year-old boy in a U lawsuit. Accused of sexually assaulting a 10-year-old boy, according to a U complaint, and the Casada lawsuits filed against him. The suit filed in the Supreme Court of the state of New York is the latest from attorney Tony Busby, and he announced plans. It was earlier in this month to file 120 U lawsuits against in the coming months. According to the complaint reviewed by Variety, a John Doe who currently resides in California is suing over alleged assault that took place in 2005. That was around the time that Diddy was doing these like reality TV shows, like Making the Band and stuff like that. At the time, he was a 10-year-old interested in becoming an actor or a rapper. An attempt to help their son's career aspirations, the boys' parents hired an industry consultant who recommended they fly from their home in LA to New York to meet with music industry figures. During the trip, the consultant arranged for Combs to meet with the young boy for an audition, and Combs asked to meet with the boy alone before meeting with the family. Oh god, this gets proper messed up here. Really disturbing. Better brace yourself for some of these stories. Yeah. No, yeah, I don't follow his videos all that much. The story goes on. The consultant took the boy to Combs' hotel room and left him alone with him. So the consultant, these guys are the scum of the earth too, because you mean to tell me they don't know what's happening, what the deal is? The boy performed a few rap songs for Combs, who told him he could make him a star and asked him how badly he wanted it. According to the complaint, Plaintiff responded, as might any 10-year-old child, that he would do anything. Yeah, this is proper fucked up. This stuff here, man. See, this just exposes Diddy for the total monster that he is, and you can really have no empathy for what he's going through right now. Another person present gave the boy a soda, which he drank. Shortly after, he began to feel a little funny, which the plaintiff's attorney claims was because the drink was laced with drugs, including but not limited to GHB and or ecstasy. After consuming the soda, Combs allegedly told the boy to move closer to him and pushed him down, telling him something to the effect of, "You have to do some stuff you don't want to sometimes." Once pushed down, Combs exposed his penis and told him to kiss it. After refusing, Holmes apparently forced him to perform oral sex, and the boy shortly after lost consciousness. When he came to, Combs' pants were undone and his anus and buttocks hurt badly. He cried and said he wanted to see his parents, to which Combs told him if he said anything to anyone, he would hurt his parents. Goodness me, man. Goodness me. When the consultant returned, she noticeably shaken him, took him back to his parents, who ascertained he was lethargic and acting differently. In the time since the alleged assault, the John Doe has suffered from severe depression and anxiety, which leaves him hopeless and fatigued. Good grief, man. God, that's horrible. In response to the latest suit, representatives from Combs shared a statement with Variety disavowing the claims. The lawyer behind this lawsuit is to the media attention rather than the truth, as is obvious from his constant press appearances and 1-800 number. As we said before, Mr. Combs cannot respond to every new publicity stunt, even in response to claims that are facially ridiculous or demonstrably false. Combs and his legal team have full confidence in the facts and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail that Mr. Combs, this is the boom boom moment, right? That Mr. Combs never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor. Yeah, and I've got some oceanfront property I want to sell you, right? With that claim. Yeah, that's just horrific, right? I mean, good grief. Good grief. And again, there's a new allegation that just came out. Variety.com, that's there. I believe they're exclusive. I don't know if the other publications have followed from this and reporting it, but yeah, it gets worse and worse, doesn't it? It just gets worse. Do you believe Michael Jackson was guilty of similar? That's a tough one, Lenny. I don't know. I really don't know. Because you hear so many stories that people came out and said that they were offered, like, I don't know, 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand to say that Michael Jackson molested them, and nothing had ever happened. He hadn't done anything to them. So I don't know that one, I really don't. Yeah. There could have been a bit of both, Lanny, going on there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Certain cases were a bit questionable looking into it. The Jordan Chandler case was a little bit questionable, I thought. But night, Cara, night. No, it was good of you to check in and good of you to join. Thanks. But night. Talk soon. Yeah, I'm not sure about. I'm not sure about the Michael Jackson one. That's the one I've gone kind of back and forth with. Was it true? Was it not true? You're all heart, Cara. You're all heart. You're all heart. Nothing but love. Kanye. Kanye West. Ye hated the paparazzi more than the Nazis. Smashing Cara. Thanks for joining again. Cheers. I hate KW. Who's KW? Oh, Kanye West. Sorry. Dumb moment there. Is there not one rapper you'd say you're a fan of, Joe Cass? If you had to name one, someone you'd say you appreciate, or you just literally hate all rappers? Neil Tennant from the Pet Shop Boys. Stop it, Joe Cass. Stop it. I take it you like Blondie Rapture as well, right? Yeah, that Western Girls song that he did that kind of rap on, didn't he? Was it? Yeah. That Rapture, Fab, was it Fab Five Freddy or whatever it was, and she shouted at her. Nah, Joacas, one maybe it could be Friday night or something. Maybe we could do another one of those like listening session things, like play some house music and stuff. That'd be quite good. You could show me some tracks to play and swing out sister breakout. I remember that. Remind me of that. I'll do it like Friday evening, I think. Could get it scheduled for Friday, see how we are. We'll get some good numbers. Trying to see what else is going on in the world right now, but it looks like more people are going to start. They're covering that Diddy story. Good grief! Like. Yeah, so they say overall 2 lawsuits involving accused Diddy of misconduct involving a 10-year-old and a 17-year-old. Nah, sounds very good, Joacas. That sounds good. I imagine you usually the songs you play are ones I like, so I can trust it'll be a good one, and I like it. And the 17-year-old lawsuit. The 17-year-old participated in the audition for making the band, subjected him to inappropriate actions, including groping and asking him to embody a sexual persona. Later pressured the teen into sexual acts. But it resulted in the removal from the competition after the guy hesitated. You just wonder though, so all the people that did make it onto that show and got in the band, would they have hesitated at any point? Or would they have been happy? Would they have gone along with it and done what he wanted them to do? Yeah, you do seem to like some of that obscure like type songs you would cast, but I don't mind that. I quite like house music isn't like mainstream, right? But that's what makes it good is because there's still that integrity with the music, the quality of the production. It's good that it's not mainstream when you think about it, right? You know, but you know, man, because I played that song, remember before the Heartache Avenue one, you know, and yeah, yeah, I could do the same thing, you know. I like playing house, so that's the big thing, you know. When you play house, you want to dig out some rare tunes, you know, ones or rare remixes and stuff like that, you know. The Allegation, yeah, Heartache number 9, yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. Sometimes I can just get an idea in my head of like kind of like a mashup, you know, and yeah, I remember Kavana. Yeah, he had the "I Can Make You Feel Good." He did a cover of that, right? Yeah, it's not a bad song to be fair, you know. Although probably the Shalimar version is probably the best one, but yeah, going back to those like songs, stuff like that from the 90s, though, yeah, those were good times, though. Yeah, yeah, Shalimar. What was it? The song for lovers, "Night to Remember." Yeah, Imagination. There, that's another good one too, man. That's another good one. Yeah, Mariah Carey sampled that one on the. You heard that song that she did? Can I get your number with Jermaine Dupri? She sampled that Imagination part, you know, with a beat. Jermaine Dupri was like, "Damn, club better close in a minute. Can I get you? You and me can go get in. I'm gonna take you out. Du, du, du. Can I get your number, baby, so I can show you what I'm all about?" Damn. I probably know it if I've heard it. Dial my number. It rings a bell. It sounds familiar. The title rings a bell. La 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 la. Yeah, that was back when actually like Mariah Carey had some alright songs. To be fair, like you know, like the hip hop ones. You know, like it's like that and shake. It Up, you know, probably a lot of the stuff that she did are good stuff. Like it was probably like yeah, the stuff she did with Jermaine Dupri. Rick Astley. Yeah, he was saying something about. I mean, he was doing some interview and he said he claims he never gets tired of playing that song. Never going to give you up. He's like what 60, 61 now? Is he Astley? Oh no, he is an old man indeed, right? Yeah, yeah. Try and yeah, find it if you can. Don't stress if you don't if you can't. Looks like it's just me and you now, you Lucas. Lenny, I think, has disappeared. Polly Carmen, lead singer of Grammy-nominated multi-platinum selling group uh, Champagne. How about us try again on Love? Yeah, that's maybe one I'd probably like is get into some of his songs. Yeah, dial my number. All right. Yeah. I'll definitely check that out. Yeah. I said I would be an hour doing this. I don't know if some people are maybe just coming in and out. I don't know if anybody else has got anything. If Lenny's back, or because I think I pretty much covered all the Diddy stuff. It's just yeah, it's proper fucked up and disturbing. Probably not even for Friday. Just specifically, just it's about music. You know, but we can cover the Diddy stuff in another live stream. But then Friday we can having a good time listening to some tunes. Yeah, that's a plan, man. That's a plan, Duo Cass. But I think for now I'm just gonna wrap it for tonight. Anyone else there? Anybody you got some comments or any questions? Feel free, fight away. Um, yeah, I'm gonna I'll check out that guy. I'll check out Polly Carmen. Yeah, dial my number. Yeah, we'll check him out, Julio Cass. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, but that's me for now, guys. I'm just going to wrap this up. Some latecomers, maybe if you just come in, you can check out the start and throughout covering this stuff with Diddy. Always feel free to leave a comment, like give me your take and let me know your thoughts. But the next live stream, definitely, I think I'm going to do one for Friday evening. That'll be more of like a listening session, playing some music. But maybe though, depending on how I'm feeling, maybe you could do a live stream, maybe for Wednesday, Thursday evening as well, and cover this more some of the stuff involving with Sean Diddy Combs. But I'm just going to wrap this up. So that's me for now, guys. Thanks. Good night. Bye.